State Champs Nation, what is up? We are about to bring you State Champs at the State Championships, everything that happened at the girls basketball state finals. We kind of teased it a bit on the show this week, and we wanted to let you know that this deserves much more than just what we can bring you in a short, limited amount of time on television. We need to take it online so that we can give you everything that went down at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. So that's what this show is all about. We've got coverage of every single state final. Let's go.
Welcome to a special digital edition of State Champs Indiana. I am Drake Wally, bringing you the 44th annual IHSAA Girls State Championship Games down at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, the home of the Indiana Pacers. Bringing you the 3 and 4A state championship games will be Greg Rakestraw, but before we can get to those games, we have to cover the 1 and 2A games, and we're going to dive right into 1A. Marquette Catholic faces off once again against Vincennes. Last year, of course, Marquette Catholic won the championship, and the Nolan sisters got a title. Vincennes got red. This year, they want blue. Coming into the championship game at a nice 26-2 pace led by the deadly Nolan sisters, Marquette Catholic is looking to once again repeat, and the Nolan sisters, of course, are deadly, going to St. John's University to play in Division 1A college. And then on Vincennes side of the court, we have a 29-0 season. They are the last undefeated team in 1A, looking to continue and finish at a perfect 30 and bagel. They're looking to make up once again and finish as an undefeated squad under star Grace Wagner. Up by a deuce to start off the game, but always patient on offense. Marquette Catholic to Nolan to Salyer for the tray, now going up 7-2. A hot start for Marquette Catholic in this state game. Marquette Catholic always sound on defense, but pass to Tia Tolbert, who gives the ball to Caroline Herman, and she powers through the paint for the deuce to get Vincennes back on track early on. Vincennes not trailing too far behind here early on in the game. Great ball movement at the top of the key is keeping them offensively sound. Pass to the corner, and Tolbert is going to find Grace Wagner, who is going to score 2 and get them once again back into this game early on. Marquette Catholic masterfully moving the ball all around the court. At the top of the key is Sophia Nolan, who buries the 3, one of the record-setting 7 for Marquette Catholic in this state title game. Marquette Catholic up early in the game here. Morgan Crook with the ball. Inside, dribbles outside, and then she buries a 3 to put them up a little bit higher, moving on in the first quarter. Marquette Catholic has been strong on offense all year with the Nolan sisters, but did you know they can play defense too? Rejected by Emma Nolan, one of her 3 blocks for the game. Coming off of the blocked shot from Emma Nolan, Marquette Catholic uses that momentum to pass the ball around the court for another 3-point shot from Claire Salyer, putting Catholic up 13 in the second quarter. Marquette Catholic on the defense. Salyer grabs the loose ball. She's going to precisely pass it up the court to Nolan, who is going to score again. Marquette Catholic in control offensively here. They're going to drive inside, miss the shot, but that's okay because Sophia Nolan brought the Windex, cleaning the glass twice to finish strong. Following the Blazers bucket, Grace Wagner is going to slice inside with a beautiful left-handed shot, banking it in. Marquette Catholic has been moving the ball wonderful all game. Out to Rawlings. Rawlings is going to drop a dime to Sophia Nolan inside for another powerful finish. Trailing that score from Marquette Catholic, Grace Wagner again is going to get inside, this time with the right hand on the left side for the bucket. Heading into intermission, Marquette Catholic leads 27-13. Vincennes showing life. Beautiful kick-out pass to Caroline Herman for the jumper. 35-19 is the score with a little under 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. Sophia Nolan, another trifecta, increasing a double-digit lead. Vincennes will not go away. Inside pass to Cassandra Loza, who finishes with the left-handed shot to bring them within 19. The Nolan sisters came to play as a tandem, accounting for 38 of the team's 57 points in a thrilling performance. Final score 57-36. Marquette Catholic Blazers tip the Vincennes Patriots for the second straight year in the 1A championship game, repeating as now a 2-time state champion under the Nolan sisters. We continue with Class 2A basketball, the Golden Game. The Oak Hill Golden Eagles facing off against the Winchester Community Golden Falcons. Winchester returning again after falling last year. Holly Gutierrez brings the Golden Falcons back to state with a stellar 26-3 record, looking to be crowned this year. And of course, Maddie Lawrence is the star for the Golden Falcons. On the other side, the Oak Hill Golden Eagles are led by Todd Law. He's leading them into state at a great 24-3 record. Kayla Roby and Brittany McCorkle, they lead the squad into this very important game, seeking their first state championship. The band bringing you the tunes and bringing you the hype for this huge 2A state championship game live at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Early in the game, Oak Hill gets the fresh pop J from Brittany McCorkle, getting the game going. Winchester with some very impressive post players this season. Inbound pass gets to Kyra Robinson, hits the short J, and we are close early on. In the second quarter, we are tied at 13. Winchester goes into the post, shoots, misses, but Maddie Lawrence cleans the glass and gets the and one to put up Winchester. Maddie Lawrence showing why she wears the capital C. Another strong board inside and another strong finish for Winchester. Nearing the end of the first half here, the Golden Falcons moving strong up the floor. Inside pass to Taylor Hicks, who finishes strong, extending their lead before the break. At the end of the first half, Winchester with a lead by 8, up 23-15. At the start of the third quarter here, Oak Hill with the hustle play, trying to pick up the pieces and get back into this game. Wide open shot from Brittany McCorkle sinks, and they are now getting momentum to get back in this one. Winchester will not give up the lead very easily. Double team here proves no good. Maddie Lawrence glides on the sideline and finishes strong, and they go up a handful again. Maddie Lawrence, we know she can score, but she can also drop dimes. Beautiful interior pass to Kyra Robinson for a big post finish. Oak Hill moving the ball well to find a wide open Brittany McCorkle, who sinks another shot, this time for 3. Driving the ball up the floor, one of Wally's wonders, Kayla Roby with a finger roll finish, giving Oak Hill its first lead since the first, up 36-35. Things would get interesting down the stretch as Maddie Lawrence once again over the top finish in the paint, and 1. Golden Eagles moving the ball well in the half court. They're going to find Kayla Roby here, who sinks 2 of her 11 fourth quarter points to give the Golden Eagles a 4-point lead late. Mental Attitude Award winner Janessa Hasty more than happy to end the game with a beautiful bucket, giving Oak Hill its first state championship in program history for girls basketball. Final score of this one was Oak Hill 54, Winchester 42. Oak Hill winning its first state championship on an incredible fourth quarter performance from Kayla Roby, scoring 11 of the team's 20 fourth quarter points. Now that we've covered 1A and 2A, it's on to 3A and 4A with the one and only Greg Rakestraw.
With the recap of the 3A Girls Basketball State Championship game from Bankers Life Fieldhouse, I'm Greg Rakestraw from the IHSAA Sports Network. For a second consecutive year, the Northwestern Tigers were on their way to a state championship in Class 3A. They would play a conference foe, one that they did not play during the regular season, when they took on the Benton Central Bison. Last year, Northwestern defeated Greensburg by 21 in the state championship game. Benton Central making their third ever state championship appearance, but looking for an elusive first girls basketball state championship. Northwestern got off to a tremendous start in this game. Emma Fisher, second leading scorer on the season for the Bison, averaging 15 points a game, gets the first basket less than 90 seconds in for Benton Central. But as is the case with any team that plays the Tigers, early turnovers were a problem for the Bison. And those turnovers would lead to early points for Northwestern. The putback basket good by Allison Miller, who would go on to win the Mental Attitude Award at the end of the contest. The turnover bug would continue to plague the Bison, and normally for Northwestern, that means easy points for the school's all-time leading scorer in Madison Layton, who would finish the game with 19. That would lead to a first quarter timeout taken by head coach David Baxter for the Bison. His team was down 10-3 in the early going. He knew his work was going to be cut out for him on this Saturday evening. On the other side, Kathy Layton in her game day pink Going into this contest, she was 4-0 in previous state championship games, all with pink as part of the attire. Of course, it's a family affair for the Ladens. Her husband, Jeff, much like Kathy, who played at the University of Evansville, chiming in instructions on the sideline. After the timeout, though, there wasn't much of a reprieve for Benton Central. Madison Layden on the attack. Great body control to avoid the foul and add to her point total, as she is now tied for second in the history of Howard County girls basketball in points with 1 season left to play. Even when there is a conduit in between, the pass from Layden to Bostic, Miller in the middle, the idea is the same. Go to the top and find Bostic for a basket. She would finish with 25 on the afternoon. Baskets would be hard to come by for Benton Central, but they would find one here. Good elbow look to the block from Fisher, and Cassidy Manier, the 2 seniors, combined for a basket, but that would be the last field goal before halftime for Benton Central. At halftime, our score 29-13 in favor of Northwestern, and much like their basketball team, the band in rhythm at halftime. We pick it up now early in third quarter action. Fast break opportunity. Layup doesn't go, but Audrey Strasma is there for the Bison. She'd be the only Benton Central player to finish in double figures. She'd score 11 in the contest. Kendall Bostic's fingerprints were all over the box score for Northwestern. She would finish with 6 blocks to go along with 7 steals, and Northwestern does a wonderful job of turning defense into offense as Allison Miller would cash in at the other end. Another impressive stat line for Kendall Bostic would be rebounds. She'd finish with 15 of them. This one would lead to second chance points. Her rebounds and steals both tied 3A state finals records. And while free throws don't normally make for good highlights, free throw shooting certainly a highlight of Madison Layden's game. The Purdue-bound junior, 91% from the line, and knocks down 2 more here as the onslaught was on in quarter number 4. While the outcome of this game was largely decided by halftime, there was no quit in the Bison of Benton Central. Emma Fish, in her final game for BC, scores there to finish with 7 points. We mentioned the steals from Kendall Bostic. It was not just limited to Bostic. Here, Katie Neer with the steal and the score, one of 18 steals for Northwestern in their 3A triumph. With the stifling Northwestern defense, there weren't many looks from 3 from Benton Central. Those they got, they knocked them down. Kelsey Kaufman with her only made basket of the game. Benton Central was 4 of 7 from 3-point range, but the attack unrelenting from Northwestern. Layden with the look forward, and the basket cashed in by Nova Lee Lohr. The medals around the necks of Northwestern's players, coaches, and administrators for a second consecutive season. Final score on this one from Bankers Life Fieldhouse: Northwestern 61 and Benton Central 39. Northwestern now will play in the 4A classification for each of the next 2 seasons.
It's amazing. Coming out to play, we knew we had to play as hard as we could with Benton Central, and back-to-back feels pretty good. I think we assumed we had to play as hard as we could every game. Ranked number 1 at the beginning of the season. Hard for us at the beginning, but we assumed we had to play as hard as we could.
With a 4A Girls Basketball State Championship recap, I'm Greg Rakestraw from the ISC Sports Network. 2 teams making a first-ever appearance in the Girls Basketball State Championship game. Number 1 ranked Hamilton Southeastern against a Lawrence North team that was just outside of the top 10 entering the postseason. 2 teams that know each other quite well. They played on January the 15th, and in that one, 56-45, Hamilton Southeastern got the W. The Royals came in with just 1 loss on the season, and that was to a team from outside of the state of Indiana. One of the keys in this game for Lawrence North had to be 3-point shooting. No player over 6 foot tall on the active roster. 3 knocked down immediately by Jayla Smith. She would finish with 15 points for the contest, all coming from behind the 3-point arc. And while Hamilton Southeastern had a bit more size to rely on, they weren't afraid to let it fly from 3-point range either. Senior backup guard Molly Walton knocks down the triple, one of 2 field goals she'd have for the contest. Size isn't everything for Hamilton Southeastern. Amaya Hamilton rejected by the smaller Lauren Gunn, but Sydney Parrish all over the floor the entire night for Hamilton Southeastern, and one opportunity here early in quarter number 2. Speaking of Hamilton, she can knock it down from distance as well. She'll play at the Division I level for Duquesne. Rough offensive night, one of just 2 field goals for one of HSE's top players. We've seen Parrish track down a loose ball before. We'll see it again. It would be a double-double night for Parrish, one of 10 rebounds there with the putback for the talented junior. After a miss on a three by Lawrence North, it did not take the Royals long to cover 84 feet because the ball stayed in the hands of Sydney Parrish. This would lead to a second quarter run. Hamilton Southeastern would build a 10-point lead. Timeout taken by Lawrence North. But Lawrence North, as they have all year, would not go away. In fact, by the time this game got to halftime, they would take the lead. A mixture of threes and a great drive to the basket, that one by Lauren Gunn. On this basket for the Wildcats, it would again be Lauren Gunn, this time the benefactor off the penetration from Indiana junior all-star Christian Young. Wildcats had a 2-point lead at the intermission. Back to action in the second half, and things got off to a good start for Hamilton Southeastern. There would be a lot of Sydney Parrish for the entire half, this basket from early in the third quarter. But at the other end, the lone senior from Lawrence North in Maddie Howe. She would knock down her only basket of the game. Maddie would go on to win the Mental Attitude Award at the conclusion of the 4A contest. Kate Davidson was solid the entirety of the game for Lawrence North, working her way down low, splitting two defenders and getting the basket. Davidson would finish with 15 points on 6 of 10 shooting. Floor spacing phenomenal the entire night for Lawrence North. The drive and kick by Davidson. And as mentioned, Smith one of 5 threes on the evening. That gave the Wildcats a 34-32 lead. Another Davidson basket late in the third quarter would further extend the Lawrence North advantage. But the early stages of the fourth quarter would belong to Hamilton Southeastern. A well-timed only basket of the game for point guard Malia Jackson would help put the Royals in front early in quarter number 4. And winning time for HSC equated to Sydney Parrish time. She would take just 1 3-point field goal on the game and make it to help extend the Hamilton Southeastern advantage. But Parrish, just as come from the low block as she is in the baseline corner, she'd finish with 30, 1 point shy of a record for the 4A state championship game. The Royals, the unquestioned #1 basketball team in the state of Indiana, their first ever girls basketball crown, an 11th state championship in school history. Again, thanks for watching our recap of the girls basketball state championship games on this digital exclusive from State Champs Indiana.
It feels amazing. Dreamt of this since I decided to come to HSC in 8th grade, and I couldn't have asked for a better season with a better senior class and a better team. Well, I mean, our preparation has stayed the same throughout the entire season. We didn't even get to shoot here in Bankers Life until warming up today. So that was very different, but I didn't even know I had 30 points until you just told me, to be honest. I just focused on our game, and we got a great outcome. I can't even put into words how close of a team we are. We love each other on and off the court, and like I said, being with this team and getting the win with them is better than anything. Whether what the outcome would have been today, I would have been sad either way, because I mean that was the last time I'm going to be on the court with these girls, and I couldn't have asked for a better experience.
I couldn't be proud of this group. I mean, 4 years, some of these kids have been starting. The halftime adjustments we made trying to get the basketball inside, which we thought we could. We thought we'd get the ball in the middle of their zone and in the short corner. I thought we did in the first half. We just didn't take advantage of it. These kids have worked so hard. We talked about this back in June, and we weren't going to win a sectional or any kind of championship in February. We needed to win it back then. And our kids really put their minds to it and started working back then to get to this point. Well, I still don't think defensively we've played real well. Their dribble penetration was causing us fits and their quickness. And I didn't think we were doing a very good job of switching or getting into gaps. But then sometimes when we did get into gaps, I kicked it out and hit a 3. But offensively, we just got going in the second half and found some open people. And again, we were able to get the ball into the middle of that zone and cause them some problems.
Congratulations once again to all the brand new state champions out there. Again, this is something we love doing. We're going to do it for all of the state finals. So no matter what the sport that you love, we're going to bring you a special digital edition of how everything went down at the state finals. So once again, for all of us at the State Champs team, we'll see you in a couple weeks for the boys.